is Seema and I am back with a new lesson on talking about girls. Well, this is a topic that most of you guys can relate to because I'm sure that you end up talking about girls almost pretty much all of the time, don't you? And well, there are some girls who also like to talk about other girls. So if you're a girl, you can watch this video. We're now going to talk about certain expressions or the words that we use when we're talking about girls that we like. Now, great body. When we're talking about a girl with a great body, we are talking about a girl, who is like a 10 on 10. So the other word for a great body is a 10 on 10, which means she's just perfect. She's got like the right body, everything's just perfect about her. You look at her and you go like, wow, she's got a great body. Okay, so guys like girls with a great body or someone who is a 10 on 10. And then we have curvaceous girls. These girls are not skinny, but then they're not very fat either. So you can say that I like curvaceous girls or girls with a lot of curves. Another word to to use for curvaceous is voluptuous. Okay, so they're not your average thin, skinny girls that you like. They would be girls with a little bit more flesh. So they're girls who have a lot of curves or curvaceous girls. And then we have skinny girls or shall I say thin girls. So girls who are skinny or thin are like really willowy. They're not fat, obviously. So they're just very skinny and very thin. That's what it means. And there are some of them who like girls with a smooth skin. So I know some guys who say, I like my girl to have smooth skin. So when you have skin that's really, smooth and very supple without any blemishes, that's what a smooth skin is, okay? And a lot of guys like that, don't we? And we girls tend to make sure our skin is nice and smooth. Right, and we have girls who can be tall, which means they have quite a good height, and girls who are average, that is not very tall. So average is someone who is not very tall. So guys who are tall, like their girls to be tall, and thin sometimes, and guys who are mostly not very tall, they would prefer if they have a girl with an average height. It could be otherwise as well, but mostly that's how it is. And pretty. Well, who does not like pretty or beautiful girls? So you can say I like pretty girls, I like beautiful girls, you can say I like gorgeous girls. Okay, so right now these are some of the words you can use to describe girls based on their looks. But when you are talking about what the girl is involved in, the kind of things that she does, so there are different words to describe that. So an athletic girl is someone who is good at sports. So one of my friend, he loves to play sports. So he wants an athletic girl because he wants someone to, kind of accompany him when he's doing his thing. So he likes athletic girls, someone who is good at sports. Smart girls. Well, I'm telling you guys, if you want a girl, you should get a smart girl or an intelligent girl. If you want to stay with someone for a long time, it's good to have someone who's smart, intelligent. It kind of makes it easy for you. So someone who's quite brainy up there is a smart or an intelligent girl. And then we have girls with a fun personality. Well, what is it to have a fun personality? Someone who has a good sense of humor. There are some girls, you tell them something and they just kind of, cry. They feel a little bad. They're a little too sensitive. That's not having a fun personality. You want someone to have a good sense of humor, who can laugh at themselves. A fun personality can be someone who loves to party, who loves to have fun, basic fun, who loves adventure sports, someone who is always on the go for something new and fun. So that's a fun personality for you. And then we have some girls that we can describe based on their hair color. Okay, so someone who has red hair is a redhead. A lot of guys prefer redheads for some reason. A lot of guys prefer blondes. So if you have golden or yellowish hair, that's what a blonde is. So you want to say, I prefer blondes. My kind of girl is someone who is a blonde. And then there are some of the guys who like brunettes, hair like mine. We're brunettes because we have dark hair. So that's what a brunette is. Well, we've just seen how we talk about girls that we like. But now we're going to talk about some girls that we don't like, girls that are not very nice, or girls that simply annoy us. Okay? Well, talking about girls that you don't like or dislike, deals with girls who firstly have an attitude. Well, you don't like a girl who has an attitude. So what is it for a girl to have an attitude? What kind of girl is she? She is someone who is very arrogant, someone who thinks too much of herself. So she thinks that she's up there while everyone else is down here. So someone who does not really talk too much to anyone, who thinks that, it's all about her. So people with an attitude, who are very arrogant, who are very proud, who talk only to some people, who they think is worth talking to. That's what a girl with an attitude is. And a lot of guys dislike this kind of a girl. And then we have girls who are nagging. Well, believe me, whether you have a mother, a father, an aunt or a boyfriend or a girlfriend who is nagging, you will hate that person. So what is it to be a nagging girl or a nagging person? It is someone who keeps telling you or annoying you over small little things. So it kind of gets so irritating. So you have a nagging girl who goes like, why didn't you call me? You did not reply back to my text messages. Why were you talking to the other girl? Why were you staring at her? Why did you not eat your food? Why did you drink too much today? Well, the list of questions goes on and on and on. That's what nagging girls are all like. So a nagging girl is someone that guys not only dislike, but they just hate. Okay, so if you want to be away from a nagging girl because you won't be able to stay with her for too long. And then you have a high maintenance girl. Now, a high maintenance girl can be someone who is very rich, someone who's spoiled because she's rich, someone who loves gifts, someone who loves to be pampered. Now girls, please understand, the poor guy, he's working very hard himself to give you as much as he can. So don't be too high maintenance, because high maintenance talks about girls who are so demanding. They want to go to the best of restaurants. They want to go to the best of destinations, to travel abroad perhaps. They want the best of gifts, and the poor guy has to do everything to keep up with her. So high maintenance girls are something that guys don't always like. Okay, and then you have stuck-up girls. Well, what are stuck-up girls? Now, in the previous slide, we did something called as fun personality. So that's the opposite of what a fun personality is all about. So stuck-up girls are very prim and proper. You can call them being very uptight. So a stuck-up girl has a very, organized way of doing things. She won't really, think out of the box. She won't venture for some extra fun. So she'll be she'll be one of those girls who will tell you something like, you don't have to be a DJ. That's not a proper job. Go and get a job in a bank, like a boring job, because that's more stable. That's the more it thing to do for her. A stuck-up girl could be someone who doesn't like to make out too much. You know, she thinks it's not very ladylike to do that. So stuck-up girls are too prim and proper. They're very uptight. So a stuck-up girl may also not go to parties thinking that it's not a really nice thing to do. You might as well be at home and sit and, you know, do your work. So stuck-up girls are kind of boring. So guys don't like them because they're very uptight and too prim and proper. Okay, so guys like to have a little bit of fun, so they want someone who is not very stuck up about everything. Okay, and then you have weak girls. You can also call them dependent girls. There are some girls who are very sensitive, very emotionally weak. No matter what happens, you know, they can just, you know, cry at the drop of a hat. So guys don't like girls who are weak or dependent all the time. Such girls are also clingy. So they always look up to their partners or to people to give them their approval. So, you know, they wear a nice dress and they're like, do you like my dress? If you tell them it's not a very nice dress, they kind of tend to feel a little bad. So they're very, you know, they're crybabies really. They're very emotionally dependent, very clingy, very weak. Okay. And then you have gross girls. Now, gross is a expression you use when you're talking about a girl depending on her physique, like the way she looks. So for some guys, fat girls are gross. So I know a friend of mine who hates fat girls. You know, he's like, I'd never date a fat girl. That's simply gross. There are some guys who hate girls with blemishes. You know, they think that's kind of gross. So they'd go something like, did you see the look on her face? She's got so many blemishes. That's gross. Okay. For some girls, for some guys, girls who are very skinny, that's gross. So some of the guys, they like, you know, girls with a lot of curves. So girls who are skinny, that's gross. They don't like that. Okay, for some guys, girls who have oily hair or, you know, unkempt hair, that's gross. Okay, so depending on what you don't like, you term that as gross. So gross is a very wide terminology, a very wide word to be used. Okay, so these are the different expressions when we are talking about girls that we like and girls that we don't like. Well, I hope you found it very interesting, and I hope that you don't use some of these words when you are talking out loud in front of a girl. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying